Sound and Pictures coverage of Cine Expo is sponsored by Cine.
I'm Lauren with Sound and Picture. We're here with Tim at the Canon booth at Cine Expo. Now Tim, last year Canon started with the C500 camera and it has evolved into a system. Can you talk about that collaboration?
Yeah, it was a lot of work in the last year or so has gone into the camera. Like you were saying, last year we showed the camera, but it's only a small component of what it takes to make an image. We have this beautiful 4K, 2K camera, the C500, which is now sort of hidden inside all of this around the other things that we really need to make it a complete system. Now this is the 500 all dressed out. This is a complete studio rig using our highest lens, the 30-300, with matte boxes and rails, a battery power system, all the way back to a 4K recorder made by Kodaks. Now this actually is the brains of it. We worked with several manufacturers like Kodaks and Gemini and Convergence Design, AJA, the producers of all the 4K recorders, to make sure that they could record a Canon raw signal in 4K. Last year, I might be wrong about this, but last year I think Kodaks might have been the only one that was really ready last year. Now we have multiple recorders to choose from. All of those recorders have different features. This one will record up to 120 frames per second. Other ones have built-in screens or they're very small, depending on how you want to configure it. So there's a lot of options that have come on the market to really turn this into a complete camera system. Besides
Kodaks, is there any other recorder that can record Canon RAW?
There are, actually. There's several, which is nice, so you have a lot of choices. You have the Convergence Design company, which makes a Gemini. They just introduced a new one, which is going to be really good. AJA has been talking about one forever, and they finally are starting to ship that one as well. Astro has one on the market. So off the top of my head, there's 4 right there that didn't really exist last year. And the nice thing about it is they can record Canon RAW, but they can also build features into the recorders, so the recorders can be unique individually as well.
Sure.
Like I mentioned, this one will be able to record at 120 frames per second. With some of the other ones being able to have built-in screens so that you don't need to have an additional viewfinder, and you can remove this and use the recorder as your monitor. Or battery life of other ones. Small ones that fit in dive houses as opposed to the bigger ones that do more. Different price points from anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 depending on your budget, but there's so many solutions and possibilities out there that just didn't exist last year.
And so you're giving people options, which we like.
We want them to have choices, but we also don't want to just confuse them with a million things.
Right.
All of these recorders serve specific purposes. So what they really need to do is study the recorders the way they study the camera and find the perfect marriage for whatever it is they're going to shoot.
And what works for them. Thank you so much, Tim.
You're welcome.
For more information about this or other products, please visit usa.canon.com.